Hello, everyone. My name is Reese Manigan. I am the director, the writer, and I star as Detective Red Fox in technically the pilot for Outsmarted, um, the Walrus and the Carpenter. So sit back, relax, and enjoy as I talk about the making of what started off Outsmarted, really. So let's get cracking. So the idea for the Walrus and the Carpenter happened. When I was actually doing The Wonders of the Looking Glass. I was actually going to make it a spin off to The Wonders of the Looking Glass and do like a prequel about Wonderland and this murder detective idea and mystery and everything like that. And I thought, well, this could be quite a good idea. But then as the story kind of progressed along the way, I decided to not go ahead with that and decided to just make its own thing. But I kept the Walrus and the Carpenter title because I kind of like the idea of the name. It just sound, and I thought it could still be used for like a gangster name, the Walrus and the Carpenter. So I thought that would definitely be perfect to use as the title still. And plus, it's in public domain, so I thought let's just use it, and it just seemed really good. And the idea of making it all black and white was, that stayed from the beginning. Making it 1940 style, that was from the very beginning as well. So I thought, yeah, let's just keep it like that and try and see where it goes. So I wrote the script around, I'd say, late 2019 sort of time. And then as 2020 approached, I was like, right, we got the short film here. We're going to go off and start filming it, get it out in 2020. And originally, this film was supposed to be released in May 2020. And we filmed the very first scene in March of 2020, which is the scene where my character, Red Fox, meets the two wives of the Walrus and the Carpenter. But unfortunately, after we filmed that very first scene, um, COVID then struck literally like 2 weeks later in the UK, and then obviously we went into lockdown, and well, the whole COVID story. So yeah, we had to put the film on hold for a while, and then we ended up making the film in a different in a different time, and I think. After doing the first scene back in March 2020, I don't think I filmed this again until like I think it was around summer of 2021 when we were allowed to go out and meet people, but not go around their houses and everything, like that sort of socializing kind of way. And and then I filmed another scene with Megan, the actress who plays Valerie, and then I did all the rest of these scenes right here at Sammy's place, which was the last scenes we filmed. And this is with everybody. This was Sammy and Charlie and Charla and etc. So so we filmed these scenes in November, actually, a month before the film was about to be released. And then what I'd done is I managed to kind of rush through the editing as quickly as possible, and managed to make as much as possible with the editing. And I'm really glad I did manage to get out just in time, and everybody managed to get the costumes well, and it was just really great. It was really fun to film. It was really good. So that's kind of how it all started, really. And then oh yeah, obviously we had the scenes with Mike as well. Sorry, so the scenes with Mike we filmed just before we filmed these scenes in Epping Forest. And unfortunately, we did have two actors to play Walrus and the Carpenter, which was Mike and another actor. But unfortunately, every time I tried to cast another actor, they were never available. So Mike decided to take on playing both roles as like the Cray twins. So we based them on there, and then we just did the film from then on. And so that's how the first lot kind of started. And then obviously when it came to the release date, I thought, when can I release it? And then obviously I thought, well, I haven't got a Christmas special planned in 2021. So I thought, let's release The Walrus and the Carpenter because it's a nice, fun half an hour project. It's a nice special. It's got, great actors, great story, very funny. And And just really quickly, that part there where I spit out the cigarette in the house, we done a take on that. Let me tell you this story. It's so funny. So basically, the part where I'm spitting out the cigarette, there was one take where the camera's pointing at me like this shot, and I put the cigarette in my mouth, and then I shot the the cigarette out of my mouth, and it actually hit Charlie right on the head when I spat it out. It was so funny. It was such a good moment, and it's a shame that we never filmed that part when it was the other, then the camera was on the other way round, because that would have been comedy gold and maybe a blooper gold as well. So that probably would have worked. But unfortunately, we didn't get the shot. Just me spitting it out, but not him hitting his head. So there you go. And so that's the original one of the bloopers that we done that unfortunately never got caught on camera. But we did a few bloopers in the film. There wasn't many, not like a huge amount to make into a collage. It was just a few little bits of forgetting lines and stuff like that and everything. And so we managed to get through it quite smoothly. So I suppose we better talk about the character Detective Red Fox, who is the character I'm playing. Now, I love this character. Now, originally in my head, he was based on Inspector Clouseau and Leslie Nielsen's character from Naked Gun and Johnny English and everything. And I love those movies. They are so good. Like, each of those films are just like brilliant to do and to work on, and they're just always really funny. And I grew up with those films and everything. So I was like, I've always wanted to try and do my own sort of detective series and something funny, something dark comedy and everything. And so the Walrus and the Carpenter, I wrote it, and then during COVID, I was thinking after I released it, do you think there's a possibility to do a series of this? And so I wrote the series during near the end of COVID of 2021. And then I immediately started like saying, right, I've got a series idea I want to do, and it's based in the 1940s and everything. And amazingly, as 2022 approached and COVID then became less of a threat, and we came out of lockdown, and it all kind of escalated. Um, I guess you could say that things kind of really turn around, because now Outsmarted is finally happening, and it's doing very well. And I'm very shocked and surprised by the success of how the series has done. And it's all because of this pilot. The pilot has done a very good job, and I'm very happy about it. Like, it's just come out amazing. So yeah, so the success of this, and of course the series. I mean, when I released The Walrus and the Carpenter, it managed to get up to over, I think, I'm just trying to think now, it was like maybe 150 views, maybe even nearly 200, very quickly. So it's done very well, and people are still watching it, and I'm very happy with it. I think it's just such a fun film, and I'm glad I got it done and sorted, and yeah, I'm glad the success done enough to do a series, and currently right now doing series 2. So as this audio commentary is taking place right now, I am doing series 2. So these scenes here, the interrogation scenes, they're quite funny because basically we're trying to show how Red is trying to be this very strong professional detective, when really there's some moments where he's saying something quite stupid, and you can tell from some of the characters' reactions, they're just kind of like, what's he talking about? What's he trying to say? And also, you just know that this guy isn't the brightest light bulb in the box, but there is still something about him that shows that he isn't 100% stupid. So there's definitely something there. And that's why I named the series Outsmarted, because I like the idea that he thinks he's clever as a fox and he can outsmart people. And in some ways he can, and in some ways he can't. So it was quite interesting to do that sort of character, very sort of split personality, kind of very complex character. So yeah, that's how Detective Red Fox kind of sprung up on it. And Charlie did the shots for this, every interview. So we filmed this in Sammy's house, and he had a spare room, and it was this nice big spare room we used, and it looks very vintage looking. Even the windows there look quite vintage looking, and that's when we done the scenes. It was really good. Like, we managed to like not show too much of the sofa, because the sofa wasn't very vintage, but we managed to get the scenes that we needed, and the shots here are just brilliant. I love them. They're so good. Yeah, I had to shout next really loudly, and just to make sure, because instead of being professional, going, "Excuse me, sir, excuse me, miss, could you come in the next room?" Just shout next. I think I got a laugh in the back. Now, here, of course, is one of my favourite actresses of all time, Charlotte Campbell, who I love working with. She's the best actress I've ever worked with, and you know, when I was happy that she wanted to be part of this, I was very glad. I was very glad that she wanted to be part of this, the pilot. And she plays everything. She can do serious, she can do comedy, and Charlotte Campbell, as we know, as I've mentioned before, she just like brings out every special performance so well. No matter what she does, just everything she brings to the table is 110%. And again, she does another fantastic job. She plays the sister Sandra Quinn, who has a very odd relationship with her brother, and obviously she's going through a lot of stuff at the moment, and basically she's kind of like a bit of a key help in this film, really, because she's kind of like saying that I kind of know some things that are happening, and kind of leads on to the suspicion of the brother. But I was so glad to get Charlotte, Charlie, and Sammy in together, because I love it when us guys work together and we do things together. And I hope to do more things with those guys together, because every time us four get together, we always come up with some really good stuff. And I try to include them in together as much as possible. But as always, I always enjoy filming with Charlotte and everything. And, she just, so open minded, always knows my humour, always knows what kind of films I make. We're always comfortable to work together, and we just give out like such a great, and she's one of my bestest friends as well. So, and Charlie, who we'll see later, does an amazing performance as Johnny Quinn as always. He's just fantastic. I mean, the character of Johnny is quite funny, because Johnny, he was kind of based a little bit on a character I saw on American Horror Story. This very spoilt, rich, stuck up man who acts like a child, but he's very snobby and greedy, and just such a bastard, really. And Charlie loves playing like nasty characters. So when I said to him, "Look, I want you to play the son of the rich man and all this," and he read the script, he even said to me, he said, "I knew it was going to be me, wasn't he?" He said, "I knew it was going to be my character." He said, "I just knew that you were going to pick me," and I was like, "Well, it's not about picking you. It's just the fact that it links to the murder, so that's why we did it." And Sammy coming in as the lawyer. Sammy, I love working with as well. Does a very good performance, a very minor performance, but still very good as the lawyer. And Sammy was very helpful to get the location of the cemetery as well. The cemetery that we filmed at the very beginning, Sammy also knows that place as well. So it was great to get him to help us with the locations as well, because he's such a great guy. And as later on, after the interview scenes are done, the very last shot of the film comes where I'm looking at the piece of paper and I read it upside down, and I think it's in Dutch language or something. That was actually the very last scene that I shot for this film. Yeah, for this scene, I thought I've done a very slow, nice interviews with the other ladies. Let's do a very fast one with Sammy and just shout out these questions. Where was the last time da 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 da, And Sammy's trying not to laugh in some bits, but I think it was just quite funny, just to show more stupidity for the character. And again, Sammy just brought out another great performance there. I love that shot there. And here's the final shot of the film. Just literally me holding a piece of paper. There you go. Final shot of the film. And also, what was I going to say? As if you've seen Outsmarted, you'll see there's so many references from the Walrus and the Carpenter that link to the series, and obviously bringing back Charlie and Charlotte for the series was kind of good, because it was kind of nice to link this pilot to the series rather than just having Detective Red Fox, go off on his own and just be like, "I'm just going to do this," and then it just kind of refreshes everything. I find it kind of funny that we got Charlie and Charlotte back, and they decided to come back to play their characters again. It was really good. I was really happy that they came back to do the first series, and you'll be happy to know that Charlie does come back for a cameo in series 2, and yeah, so keep an eye out for that. I just love the cuts there where they're trying to bring out the signatures. And of course, little foreshadowing clue there with the nice little curve on the Y. And I was just ad-libbing some jokes here, like this bit where I say about Boris, I know your name is Boris, but I don't understand your writing. I just love that little joke that I added, because we know he's right. And you can see Charlie's trying not to laugh there, because I think he didn't expect me to say that, and it wasn't. It was supposed to be ad-libbed, so it worked. And there's us, the main duo, me and the legend. So also, just to let you know, by the time this commentary gets released, me and Charlie next year would have been friends for 25 years. Yeah, 25 years. So That's how long we've been best mates, and we always have a great time working together. And normally, like every time I write a scene with me and him, I just know that the scene is not going to be through script. It's going to be like ad libbed and changed, and something's going to happen. But when me and him work together, we're so like, we just do really well together. Like, we bounce off each other. The chemistry's there, and we've got some great new stuff coming up. So it's really good, and yeah, it's just really fun to work with him every time. The character of Johnny, though, like even though he was, he's revealed to be the killer near the end, we wanted to try and make sure that obviously, it was like a proper who done it, and there were so many like options of who it could have been. And I remember once when I was telling the story to a friend, I said, "Oh, I'm doing this who done it," blah blah blah. And I remember, I remember one of them said, "Oh, I bet it's the daughter because she seems so nice and innocent." And I thought, well, that would have been a good twist, but no. It was always the intention to get the son to do it, but there had to be a link between why the son would be mad to kill his dad. And here, of course, is the lovely Megan I worked with, who I've worked with twice actually on Who Killed You, the horror short, and this film. And she is a brilliant actress. I think she's gone off to do some really amazing things now. And yeah, this was a really good scene. We just met up one day at Highgate, and she got into costume, and we just did this scene. And we actually filmed this for about an hour, I think, or maybe even a bit more, because we had quite a lot of dialogue in this scene. And I did send her the full scene, but I had to cut in the final bit. I had to cut quite a bit because I just realised there was just so much dialogue in this scene, and I was like, oh, I need to cut quite a bit out and change some bits, and I can't just have the movie just Red just interviewing people the entire time. He's got to go off and go to the next bit and go to the next bit, and and so it was. It's a big build up, but yeah. But Megan did a fantastic job in this scene, and she was brilliant to work with. And as I said, she's off to do bigger, better things now. And we had a really good time filming this, and yeah, it was really good, really good. And it was a beautiful, beautiful sunny day as well. I think we filmed this, as I said, I think it was around August, September time. Still nice and warm, and there was no one around in the location, which was good. So there was no like passers by in the backgrounds or anything, because obviously this is meant to be set in 1940, and so we managed to grab whatever we could, and we done the scene really well. And it just seemed to bounce off really well, with the scene with the two characters. That's a really good shot there. I just love how Red is like being interrogating, but he's not being like in your face about it. He's just kind of being really chilled. He's just like, I'm just here to, do a little bit of chatting. Just give me what you need, what I need, and be on your way. And the other characters are just sort of like so hesitant, as you know. And we this is another bit of ad libbing. And I was saying like, please put your name down. You fall down. And just Meg, I just love the looks that she gives me. They're just so brilliant. I love it. Like just these looks. And this was ad libbed as well. This little bit here. Just like looking over, like, whoop, sorry. Um, yeah, there's me pissed off because, and people say, why are you pissed off there? Because I'm like, well, because she's not the killer, and it's like, damn it, she's not the killer. I've still got to continue, and yeah. So the link between obviously Megan's character is that she is the ex-girlfriend of Charlie's character Johnny, and there was a bit of a history between her and Johnny's dad. They seemed to get really close, but Johnny then managed to manipulate her dad into thinking that there was more going on than meets the eye. And Megan just, I mean, just the facial expression. Megan just played this so well. It was so good. And I mean, when we was trying to figure out the character of Valerie, it was kind of hard because I actually didn't. I mean, I think Valerie was the only character I didn't have casted, and I was like, right, I'm looking for an actress to play a character to be in 1940s. And Megan came out with this, like, I mean, you can't tell because it's black and white, but she was wearing blue. And I remember when I saw her, I said, you remind me so much of Alice in Wonderland. And she laughed and said, yeah, that's kind of like the sort of theme I'm going with. And I was like, nice. It just works so well. So after this scene is another is probably is well the after this scene I apologise, I can't speak. We go into the very first scene that we filmed, which is me interviewing Christine and Anna. Anna I have worked with many times. Anna is honestly so funny. Love working with her, and I hope to work with her again in the future. And Christine is the girlfriend of someone I know who has started to become an actress, sort of a beginner. And I chose Christine for the role because you know I thought she could look quite vintage looking if she puts on the outfit and looks like a 1940s woman. And Christine was very happy to do the role, and we filmed it. And then obviously when COVID happened, she was like, "What do you want me to do with the when's the footage going to come out?" And I said, "Well, when the film gets released, I'll be able to do everything." So I wasn't able to release any footage or photos until nearer the time. Because I didn't know if this film was even going to get made, but Christine was desperate for it to be seen. She was like, "I want to share the photos." I was like, "No, you can't, because this film will not even get made. Just wait a moment." I mean, everyone was so impatient during COVID. I'm not surprised. But yeah, the very first scene was very fun to film. So I released it as a preview, as I knew I was going to make the film, and everybody loved it. They thought it was a very very funny scene, and it is very funny, especially since Red is now slowly starting to lose patience, as he's been so calm throughout the entire film. And as you can see in this, he's like, right, you know what? I'm getting sick of this now. I just want to know who the flipping killer is. This was such a laugh to film as well. This was such fun, and shooting out the cigarettes as well was a lot of fun. There. Right there, that was a good shot. Love it. And Anna and Christine, they did so well together in this. They just look so good in their roles. You know what I mean? It just looks so 1940s. And plus, you've got the lamp in the background as well. It just worked so well. It really did work in the favour, and I'm really really happy about the final result with it. And it just looks really good. And as you can see now, Red is really starting to lose the patience, and he's starting to really get the inkling that he's like, right, come on, don't mess me about. I've had enough of this. Come on, what's everyone doing? And then you've got Anna, who just kind of like, confronts him right in the face. But the last bit here, where I shout "okay," was ad libbed a bit, because I just wanted to do something really funny, and right there, that's hilarious. Adding the awkwardness there. But Anna was trying so hard not to laugh in this scene, and it was just great. And the bit as well when Christine touches my chest and says, "Wait here," that was her idea, and me brushing it off was my idea, because it just shows how, I don't know, how very stubborn Red is, and how he tries to think, "Oh, I'm this very important person," and and it's just such a little funny moment right there. Look there, so she touches me, and then I'm just like, yeah, I'm just like, get off. Okay, now is another scene with Mike, the wonderful Mike's, and we did a great split screen here. And this is like the Craze Brothers moment. We filmed this in Epping, and it was actually just beginning to rain as we started shooting, so that's why you can probably hear a little bit of rain in the scene. It's not the best, I will admit, but we got it done, and it was really good to film with Mike. Mike's a great guy. He's just so cool to work with. And of course, he actually had a role in the pilot as well of Outsmarted, and again he done magnificently. Mike is just such a cool guy to work with. I love him. Such an awesome guy. And the split screen here wasn't too difficult actually. And in fact, luckily because it's in black and white, you can't actually sometimes tell it's in split screen. So when I was editing it, it actually turned out better than I thought it was going to be. And this just hints that, could these guys have killed, Daniel Quinn, saying that, "Oh, I'm glad he's dead," and all this, and he's like, "Yep, you're still talking. Okay, I'm trying to." I just love that. And the reveal of Johnny being the killer, I kind of like it, because it just shows that after all that had happened, it just revealed that you know it was him along with the R and everything. And it was just, it was just such a funny little reveal. But that's the thing with some like detective shows and stuff. There's always like little things that you see, and then it's like, oh, hang on a minute, why does that writing look the same to so and so, and the curve and the Y and all that? And that's how I thought, that'd be quite interesting to do. Just do something like that. And it was just a really good twist to show that Detective Red Fox has gone out all this way to meet the gangsters. He's even met the ex-girlfriend and the gangsters' wives, only to turn out that the killer is all the way back home. And yeah, the little curve in the Y is just there. Oh, I don't know. The big reveal has now happened, and oh, I love this part. Love this part reveal. Charlie done a great job with his sarcasm, and B2 done a great job screaming her ass off. And Charlotte's reaction is just fantastic. Charlotte's just like, okay. I mean, Charlotte just done a great job. I mean, Charlotte even said to me, "Do you want me to say anything? Do you want me to do any dialogue?" I said, "No, just literally look at your stepmom and think, okay, it's okay." And then obviously when I did the reveal, I did a different recording to say that, of what happened, but then I decided to do a different flashbacks and audio and change it all, and yeah, it was just much better that way. So I completely changed the entire lot, and it just comes out so much better with the flashbacks. And luckily, funny thing is, I actually use these flashbacks again for episode 5, I believe, of Outsmarted. Or was it episode 4? It's probably episode 4 actually. But yeah, I used them again for to reveal about Johnny and what he'd done, just in case there's some people that hasn't seen the Walrus and the Carpenter. They'll know exactly what happened with with what Johnny's character done. And I was kind of glad that I reused it all and shows the flashbacks of the pilot. It just worked. And Charlie, you can tell, I mean, he loves his role as Johnny. He said to me, I love playing this character. And so when it came to bringing back him again in the series, I had to make him a bit more insane, a bit more ridiculous. And I think Charlie just loved it. And he just nailed the role so well. So yeah, so that's the Walrus and the Carpenter. It was a lot of fun to make, a lot of fun to film and shoot and edit, and a bit difficult along the way with some scenes, but we managed to get out a beautiful film. People have liked it. It's been a success, and I'm glad that people have enjoyed it. And please stay tuned for Outsmarted Series 2 coming very soon. And yeah, just keep an eye out for more stuff as well. And obviously, more audio commentary videos will probably be coming and more video content. So feel free to subscribe my channel and check out more of my stuff because more content will be coming. So thank you so much, guys, for enjoying my audio commentary version of The Walrus and the Carpenter, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you so much.